All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. Today, it's all about XRP.
XRP, okay.
Yeah, you sent in this piece from the Motley Fool. Should you buy XRP Ripple while it's under $3?
Ah, interesting.
Looks like someone's thinking about maybe buying in.
Yeah.
So we'll break it down, see what's really going on, and is it going to revolutionize finance, or is it just another crypto gamble?
Yeah, well, I think the interesting thing about XRP is that it's not just, some speculative token like some of the stuff we've seen out there. It's actually connected to this global payments network, RippleNet.
So it actually does something.
Yeah, it's trying to make international transfers, cheaper and faster.
Okay, so unlike, some of those meme coins we see floating around, this actually has a function, a purpose.
Right, exactly.
Now, the article mentioned it shot up like 396% in just 6 weeks.
Wow.
And this was after like 3 years of it being basically flat.
Yeah. It's definitely caught some attention.
Yeah, that's got to catch your eye even if you've been, in the crypto space for a while.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big jump.
Definitely. And the thing is, the way things work now with sending money across borders, it's really slow and expensive. You got banks taking their cut, exchange rates fluctuating.
Yeah, it's a pain.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So XRP and RippleNet are trying to streamline that, and they're offering real-time settlement.
So no more like waiting for a SWIFT transfer to, crawl through the system.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's got to be appealing to anyone who's dealt with international payments. But how does XRP itself actually gain value?
Right.
It's not like a stock, right?
Yeah.
It's not giving you dividends.
No, it's a whole different animal. So one way it gains value is through this thing called the burn mechanism.
Okay.
So basically, every time a transaction happens, a tiny fraction of XRP is destroyed.
Oh.
So it gets burnt up, and that makes the remaining supply more scarce, which, basic economics will tell you that tends to drive up the price.
Okay, so that makes sense on a small scale. But
Yeah.
what are some of the bigger forces that are really, moving this thing? The article hinted that there was more to it than just that.
Yeah, you're right. The burn mechanism is definitely a factor. But as more and more financial institutions partner with Ripple and start using XRP, that's what really gets the ball rolling.
Okay.
The demand grows, and that pushes the price up even further. And another interesting thing is that, unlike a lot of cryptos out there, XRP isn't mined.
Oh, okay.
So Ripple Labs, they hold a big chunk of the total supply, and they manage how it's released.
So there's a level of control there
Exactly.
that you don't normally see with
Yeah.
crypto, which is, decentralized.
Yeah. So that can be a good or bad thing, depends on your perspective, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the article really dives into what's behind this recent surge, and there seem to be a few key factors.
Yeah.
What really jumped out to you?
Well, for me, the big one is the planned launch of this Ripple USD.
Okay.
So imagine a stable coin,
Okay.
but it's pegged to the US dollar,
Right.
but it's built on this XRP ledger, and it's fully integrated with RippleNet.
So instead of having to deal with XRP's volatility,
Right.
you can just use this stablecoin for everyday transactions.
Yeah, exactly.
But wouldn't that kind of defeat the purpose of using crypto?
Well, not really, because, we're talking about international payments, microtransactions,
Okay.
the stuff that traditional finance really isn't built for.
Right.
So this opens up a whole new world of possibilities, even new applications that we haven't thought of yet.
So you're adding functionality, not taking away, not replacing the core idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the article also mentioned something about the U.S. elections impacting XRP. Can you shed some light on that?
Sure. So there's been a lot of talk about the new SEC chair potentially being more crypto-friendly, particularly towards XRP. And there's even speculation about XRP-based ETFs getting approved soon. So you can imagine that kind of regulatory support could really unlock a lot of potential in the U.S. market.
Yeah, it's a big if, but definitely something to watch. Now, the article also points to some hard data, like a jump in active XRP accounts and more transactions per account.
Yeah.
So people aren't just holding it, they're actually using it.
That's right. It's a really good indicator that adoption is growing. But of course, the elephant in the room is the volatility.
Right.
Crypto is famous for its wild swings.
Yeah.
And XRP is no exception to that.
So even with all this positive news, you're saying it's not like a guaranteed win.
Right.
The article mentioned that the global market for cross-border payments is worth like hundreds of trillions annually.
Wow.
So even if XRP just captures like a tiny sliver of that, we're talking huge money.
Yeah, huge is an understatement. But think even bigger. The article mentioned tokenized assets.
Okay.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Hold on. Tokenized assets. What does that even mean?
Okay, so we're talking about representing real-world things,
Okay.
like houses, cars, even art, as digital tokens on a blockchain.
So, like, I could buy a Picasso with XRP.
Exactly.
Instantly and securely.
That's the potential.
Okay, now that's pretty mind-blowing. But isn't that all a bit far-fetched? I mean, we're not all going to be buying groceries with crypto tokens next week.
Well, that's true. Widespread adoption of tokenized assets, that might be, a ways off.
Yeah.
But the technology's, it's developing really fast. What used to be, kind of a fringe idea,
Right.
now it's on the radar of major players. And if it catches on, XRP could be like right at the heart of a truly global digital economy.
Okay, that's a big if, though, right? What if this whole tokenized asset thing just, like, flops?
Yeah, there's always a risk. Like any new technology, it could fizzle out, or,
Right.
Something better could come along.
Yeah.
But, the fundamentals of blockchain, the transparency, the security, decentralization,
Right.
that has the potential to revolutionize, not just finance, but so much more.
So even if XRP isn't, the ultimate winner in the end, this underlying technology could still have a major impact. This, what you were calling like the Internet of Value.
Exactly, yeah. Secure, transparent transfer of any digital asset, not just money. I mean, think about the implications for, supply chains, voting even. It could reshape how we interact with the world.
It's hard to wrap your head around the scale of it all.
Yeah.
But circling back to XRP, what are some key takeaways from this Motley Fool article? What's really important for our listener to understand?
Well, the article does a good job of, highlighting this dual nature of XRP.
Okay.
It's a practical tool for, making cross-border payments,
Right.
but it's also a speculative asset with, potential for growth.
It's like a Swiss Army knife of crypto, versatile.
Yeah, exactly.
And valuable, if you know how to use it.
Right.
But like any tool,
Yeah.
you need to know its limitations.
Yeah.
The article mentioned regulatory hurdles.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, XRP's future is pretty tied to Ripple Labs.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not fully decentralized like some cryptos are. There's more control with Ripple Labs,
Right.
which some people see that as a good thing, more stability.
Yeah.
Others see it as a potential risk. So that's something investors need to really think about.
Okay, so something to consider. And even with, this recent surge, the article was still warning about volatility.
Yeah.
So should our listener be ready for a wild ride if they get in?
Well, yeah, the crypto market is known for those sharp swings, and XRP is no exception. But if you believe in the long-term potential of the tech and you believe in the team behind it, then those short-term ups and downs, they might not matter as much.
So it comes back to having a strategy,
Yeah,
knowing your risk tolerance.
absolutely. And don't put in any money that you can't afford to lose.
Right. Yeah.
Do your research. Don't just blindly follow the hype.
Yeah.
This deep dive is just a starting point. It's about giving you the information to make your own informed decisions.
It's like we're giving you a map and compass, but you choose the adventure.
Precisely. And what an adventure it could be. The article even mentioned, analyst firm McKinsey.
Okay.
They predict that by 2028, cross-border payments could reach $250 trillion annually.
Wow.
So if XRP captures even a small fraction of that, we're talking about, really significant returns for early investors.
But it also mentioned, some potential roadblocks, right? Like the regulatory pushback, competition from other crypto projects, even central bank digital currencies. It seems like a lot of like ifs and maybes.
Yeah. There are definitely challenges ahead. One big one is that ongoing SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs. The outcome of that case, that could have major implications for XRP's future.
Yeah, that's something potential investors need to be watching very closely. That regulatory landscape is still very much in flux. And a negative ruling could really throw a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a real possibility. But, the fundamentals, they haven't changed. The need for faster, cheaper cross-border payments, that's only growing. And XRP is really well positioned to address that.
So it's a balancing act, weighing the potential rewards against the very real risks. But ultimately, it's up to each individual to decide if they're willing to take that gamble.
And to be clear, it is a gamble.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees in the crypto market, you
Right.
know? But that's part of what makes it so exciting. It's the frontier of finance, and anyone can stake a claim.
Speaking of staking a claim, the article mentions XRP is currently under $3.
Yeah.
Is that a good entry point for someone who's thinking about getting in?
Well, it's definitely significantly lower than its all-time high, back in
What?
2018. It
Yeah.
was $3.84.
Oh.
But, past performance is no guarantee of future results. It could go lower, it could skyrocket, it could just, kind of muddle along.
So no crystal ball predictions here. It's just about informed speculation at this point.
Exactly. But the article does, make a case for XRP's long-term potential, especially with that launch of Ripple USD
Right.
and the possibility of a more, friendly regulatory environment.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time to be watching this all unfold. It feels like we're seeing the early stages of a major shift in finance.
It's truly groundbreaking. And while, there are risks involved, the potential rewards are enormous. It's up to each individual to decide whether the, potential outweighs the risk.
So for our listener who's maybe thinking about dipping their toes into XRP, what's the one most important piece of advice that we can leave them with?
I would say knowledge is power.
Okay.
Read everything you can find about XRP, about Ripple Labs, about this whole blockchain space.
Yeah.
Understand the technology, the use cases, and the risks.
Don't just jump in because of FOMO, right?
Exactly.
The fear of missing out.
Yeah. Educate yourself and make an informed choice.
Informed choice, good advice.
Yeah.
You brought up, doing your own research. Are there any resources you recommend for somebody who wants to go deeper on XRP and the Ripple ecosystem?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Ripple website's a good place to start.
Okay.
They've got, tons of information about the tech, their partnerships, their vision for the future. And then also, crypto forums, websites like CoinDesk, Cointelegraph.
Okay, so don't just get all your information from one place.
Right, exactly. Cast a wide net.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask questions either. The crypto community is usually pretty welcoming, especially to new people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of passionate people who really want to share what they know.
It's like this giant global brainstorming session about the future of finance.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I think it's important to, to take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. XRP, it's not just about making money.
Okay.
It's about, creating a more equitable financial system.
So it's about more than just, profits. It's about like access, opportunity.
Yeah, think about the billions of people in the world who are unbanked, underbanked.
Right.
They don't have access to take for granted.
Yeah.
And technologies like XRP and RippleNet, they could really change that.
Leveling the playing field.
Exactly. That's what makes this, whole space so compelling. It's not just about the tech. It's about using that tech to actually build a more inclusive world.
Yeah, it's a powerful idea. And honestly, I think we've only just scratched the surface today. From the nuts and bolts of how XRP works to its potential impact on the, global financial system. It's a lot to take in.
It has been a true deep dive.
Yeah. So as we wrap up here, what's the one thing you want our listener to walk away with today?
I'd say be curious, be informed, and be open to the possibilities. The world of finance is changing fast, and tech like XRP is at the forefront of that. So stay engaged, do your research, and you might just be a part of, the next financial revolution.
Well said. All right, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into XRP. We hope you found it informative, insightful, and maybe even a little inspiring. And remember, this is just the beginning of your journey into the world of cryptocurrency. So keep exploring, keep learning, and see where it leads you. Until next time.
See ya.